Hello students, good morning. In the previous session, we have discussed about history, first lesson, what is history. Now, we have to discuss about Social Civics Unit 1, Understanding Diversity. From this topic, what are the things we have discussed? See, meaning of diversity, the extensions of diversity in India, the types of diversity, accept and respect the unity in diversity. So first aim is meaning of diversity. What is diversity? Have you seen your friends? All are talking in same mother tongue? All are looking same color? No. All are different from their colors, from their language, from their dress code. So diversity means nothing else. Diversity means in a range of different people and different things. See, in which are the things we have seen a difference? Our food habit, languages, colors, dress code, religious, caste and festival. If we take south side, the rice is a main food. If we compare with the south and north side, they are cultivating wheat, so their main food is wheat. They are using roti parathas. In the south side, we are using rice. Based on the rice, we are using idli, dosa. Second one, language. Which are the language are famous? Totally 122 major language in our India. 1599 other languages are there. Second one, colors. All the peoples are different from their colors. Next one, dress code. In a south side, we are using saris. But in a north side, they are using dhotis, salwar kameez. Then religious. We are following different types of religious in our country. For example, Hinduism, Christianity, Muslim, Buddhism, Jainism, we are following. Next one, caste. We have different castes in our India. So diversity means it's a different range of people and the things. Next, we have to discuss about the types of diversity. The first one is based on the land forms and lifestyle diversity. Second one is social diversity. Again, the social diversity it's divided into two. The interdependence and coexistence. Second one, family and society. Third one is religious diversity based on our religious. Fourth one is linguistic diversity based on our languages. Fifth one is cultural diversity. In this cultural diversity, we have discussed about our dance and music. So first we go to the diversity in extensions of diversity in India. What is diversity in India? Why we are saying that diversity in India? Because in the ancient period, so many of them, the other countries' people, they entered into the India for their trade business. So India is a home to a civilization that is 5,000 years old. Different groups of people from different parts of the world were attracted towards India over the years because it's wealth. Because in the beginning, India has so many wealths. So the other people, the other countries, they are attracted by our wealth. That's why they came to India for their trade business. Then they mingle with the local people and the others were keen on inverting its territory. So diverse races of people migrated into India by land and the sea routes. How did they come to India? They came to India by the sea routes and the lands. So thus the Dravidians, Negroids, Aryans, Albanians and Mongoloids become part of the modern Indian race. Then the people who migrated to India also moved into all over the India. In the beginning, they entered into India in small places. Then later, they spread into all over the India. That's why this movement and migration of people is the reason for India is rich diversity. That's why we are calling India's rich diversity, because so many other people, they came to India. So next one, which are the types of diversity we have discussed from this lesson? First one, landforms and the lifestyle of diversity. If we take continent, a continent is a very large area of land with various physical features. If you see any one continent, they don't have same places, physical features. They have different physical features. For example, mountains, then plateaus, rivers, seas, then main is weather condition also, it's different. So, India has all of them. Continent only has all the features, physical features, but India has all of them. That's why we are calling India is a subcontinent. Why we are calling India is a subcontinent? Because India has all the physical features. For example, mountains, plateaus, plains, rivers, seas, and the weather condition. We have a different weather condition. That's why we are calling India is a subcontinent. So, from the land, if we take landforms means, we can see different types of works. For example, if you go to the land side, what is the main activity in the landforms? They are cultivating the things. So, agriculture is the main form of in a plains. If we take a mountains means, what are the things they are doing? They are doing rearing of animals in undertaken. Animals is undertaken in a mountain side. If we see coastal side, what is the main business? What is the main activity? The fishing is the main activity. Then if we see the hill station, hill landscapes, what is the main business or what is the main activities in the hill station? They are cultivated. Cultivation is a main cultivation is a tea and coffee. So, the diversity is landforms also impact the flora and fauna of a region. So, it's mainly impacts the flora and fauna of the region. Then, the plant and animals wealth of a place depends upon the natural habitat and the climate that prevails in the region. So, it's totally based on their food, clothing, occupation and livelihood of the people is closely connected with the region's natural surroundings and climates. So, all the people, they are closely connected with the natural habitats and the climates, because climates also it's very important features in the landforms. So, second one is social diversity. It's already we have discussed social diversity. It has two types. First one is interdependence and coexistence. Second one is family and society. What is interdependence and coexistence? A community is a place where live together with a common interest or heritage. Where the people are living in a common interest or heritage, that's called a community. So, our community is made up of persons, laborers, teachers, artisans, parents. We have different types of community in our country. So, each and every community, they depends upon each other, because without any other community, we can't live in a society. So, each and every one community, they are depends on each other. So, second one is family and society. Family is the backbone of our society. Families consist the fundamental unit of a society. There are two types of families are there. First one is joint family. Second one is nuclear family. Joint family means a group of family members, they live together. For example, grandfather, grandmother, uncle and cousins, they are living in a same house. That nuclear family means only one father, mother and a son. They are living in a separate life. So, families live in a harmonious neighborhood. So, when the hundreds of people live together, that's called a village. Hundreds of harmonious neighborhoods collectively form a village group. Then the thousands of them group together, that's called a city. So when hundreds of people live together, that's called village. Thousands of people live together, that's called a city. So the needs of people and the interdependence of communities for convenience such as water, then food, electricity, education, housing and so on bring us together to live a harmony. So if we want to live together means we need so many things. So without the food, electricity, water, education, we can't live. So these are the things it's bring us together to live in a harmony. Though we are dissevered in our cultural practices, we are united and independent sociality. The third one is religious diversity. What is religious diversity? India is a secular country. Why we are saying India is a secular country? It does not declare any religious as a state religion. I am a Christian, so this is a Christian country. We can't say that because all are living together. So our country does not declare any religion as a state religion. The freedom of religion is our fundamental right. Each and every religious have a full rights to establish our religious worship in a country. So India is the birthplace of many religions. By the birth they have a full rights in our country. Then many religious and has become the home of many others. So in our country is a home of all religions. The Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, Sikhism, Buddhism, Jainism and Saurashtra flourish in India. Not only the particular religious, they flourish in India. So many religious, they flourish in our country. India is a land of festivals. We are celebrating so many festivals in our country. For example, in the south side, we are celebrating Deepavali, Pongal, Christmas and Ramzan. If we compare with the other states, they are celebrating different types of festivals. For example, Holi, Vijayadashmi, Ayudha Puja, Navaratri, Durga Puja, Saurashtra, Ganesh Chaturthi, Viga, Kumbh Mela, Miladi Nabi, then Mahavir Jayanti, Guru Nanak Jayanti and Raksha Bandhan. So we are celebrating so many festivals in our country. Then some of the festivals that denote the cultural diversity of India. So all the things, why we are celebrating all the festivals? Because we are all united in diversity. India is united in diversity. So the fourth one is linguistic diversity. Linguistic diversity means it's based on our languages. If we take Tamil Nadu, we are talking, our mother tongue is Tamil. If we go to Kerala, their mother tongue is Malayalam. So linguistic diversity means it's based on our languages. So according to Census of India, in 2001, India has 122 major languages and 1,599 other languages. So if we take 4 major Indian languages families are Indo-Aryan, Dravidian, Australist and Sino-Tibetan. Tamil is the oldest Dravidian language. So in our country, 2014, they declare Tamil is the first classical language in our country. In 2004, they declared that Tamil is the first classical language in our country. After that, apart from the Tamil, they have 4 other Indian languages. Have declared the classical languages, that is Sanskrit, Telugu, Karnataka, Malayalam and Oriya. Apart from the Tamil, they declare 5 classical languages in our country. And these are Sanskrit, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam and Orissa. When did they declare Sanskrit? In 2005, Telugu 2008, Kannada 2008, then Malayalam 2013, then Orissa in 2016. They have declared these are the languages or classical languages. So, okay, come to the topic, linguistic diversity. How they are saying that, because historically the Portuguese, the Dutch, the British, the Danish and the French, they came to India for the trading and their occupation of India. Some parts it have left behind a certain impact upon the culture and languages of the people. Because the British ruled over the entire country for over 300 years before. They ruled our country 300 years before. Independence in 1947. The English language gained prominence in India. From the entire only, we are learning the English. So, in due course, English has emerged as an important language and a medium of instruction in schools and colleges. So that's why we are following we are studying in a matriculation school, we are reading and writing, we are very famous in our English language, because English is a communicative language in all over the India. By their entire only, we are learning the English. It is widely used in official communication and daily life. In daily life, we are using so many words in English. Our mother tongue is totally different, but we are talking, we are speaking in English, we are communicating with others in English. So, next one is cultural diversity. What is cultural? Cultural refers to customs and practices of people, their language, their food, their color, their dress code, their festivals and the religious habits, music, art and architecture. So, the culture of a group of people is reflected in their social behavior and the interactions. Our culture only, it's reflected our social behavior. If you are talking in our mother tongue, we can easily communicate with others. If our dress code easily shows our tradition. If you are wearing a sari or chudi or dhoti means they can easily understand from which state they came from. They can easily understand. So our dress code, our language, our art and architecture, our social habits, everything it's reflect our social behavior and the interactions. The group identity for us by the social patterns is unique to a group. So each and every groups, they are following different types of diversities. Then next we go to the two types of cultural diversity. One is music, that another one is dance. First one is dance. In ancient time, that people, they are using the dance. They are dancing in whenever they are doing their workshops, when they are celebrating the festivals, they are following the dance, because dance shows our joy, our happiness to others. So dances of India reflects its cultural richness. Our dances only, it reflects our India's richness to others. Then if you go to the music and dance go hand in hand. Without dance or without music, we can't reflect our cultural behaviors. So, what are the types of music we followed in our country? First one is Hindustani music. Next, Carnatic music, classical Tamil music, folk music, Lavani, Ghazi. These are the musics we are following, we are singing in our country. So these are songs from various languages composed by blending these different forms of music. We are using different types of musics in our country. So for example, if we take Tamil Nadu, which are the dances are very famous? Karagatam, Oyilatam, Kummi, Terukuthu, Bommalatam, Puliyatam, Kolatam, Tappatam. These are the dances are very famous in Tamil Nadu. If you go to Kerala, which are the dances are very famous? Kathakali, Theyyam, Mohiniyattam. These are the dances are very famous in Kerala. So next, Punjab, Bangara, Jammu and Kashmir, Dambal, Gujarat, Garba and Dandiya, Rajasthan, Kalbila and Ghumar. Uttar Pradesh, Rasla and Gozli. Assam, Binu. So these are the dances are famous in their different states. So why we are saying unite is diversity. India is known as unite in diversity. Why they are saying that? We are following different types of cultures. We are speaking in different languages. We are in different colors. We are using different dress code. We are following different religions. We are in different castes. We are following different festivals. But when we say that India is united in diversity. So India is known for united in diversity. This phrase was coined by the Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of Independence India. In his book Discovery of India, he mentioned clearly India is united in diversity. Though diversity is visible in every aspect of the life in India, it's every aspect in our India, we are united by the spirit of patriotism. We are united by the spirit of patriotism. Symbols such as national flag, national anthem, we have a national flag, national animals, we are different. But remind us of a great nation and the need to stay united. So these are the national symbols. It says that we need to stay united. So celebration of landmark events such as Independence Day, Republic Day or Gandhi Jayanti every year bring us together and keeps the spirit of one nation alive within us. So when we are celebrating Independence Day or Republic Day or Gandhi Jayanti, we can immediately think about we are all one nation alive within us. We are all same. So cultural diversity means it mentioned that music and dance. Finally, diversity, united in diversity. This word was coined by the Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of Independence India, in his book Discovery of India. So just we recap the topics. What is diversity? Diversity means different peoples are different things. So diversity is a state being different from each other. So what are the types of diversity we have discussed? That landforms and lifestyle diversity, social diversity. So when we go to the topic, we have to again discuss about two topics: interdependence and coexistence, family and society. Third one, religious diversity. Fourth one is linguistic diversity. Fifth one is cultural diversity. So how many languages are we followed in our country? Totally 122 major languages. Then 1599 other languages we are using in our country. So when they have declared Tamil is the first classical language in 2004. In 2004, they declare, our country has declared India, Tamil is our first classical language. Then apart from the Tamil, again they have declared 5 other classical languages: Sanskrit, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam and Orissa. When they declare that, first one is 2005 Sanskrit, then 2008 Telugu and Kannada, 2013 Malayalam, 2016 Orissa. So we have completed the civics first topic, understanding diversity. So students, I hope all are understand the topic diversity, understanding the diversity. So in the next session we have to discuss about the next topic. Thank you.